As someone who is very familiar with Oak Hill, can you give us some thoughts on the East course?
Yeah, certainly a lot different than the course we played for the 2013 championship. I think Andrew Green's done a phenomenal job.
I'm amazed at really what he was able to accomplish in a few months. I mean, I don't know how you restructure the entire greens, add all the new bunkering. I love the grass faces on the bunkers. I mean, I love Donald Ross, that style, the way that he's kind of cut them into sides of hills. You know, there are some bunkers out there you think, why would you put that there? And then you get out there and play it and you realize just kind of why he did it.
I hadn't played it before, so I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, I'd saw the 2013 PGA and some back highlights, and obviously knew it was a challenging golf course. But you can tell with this redo, they wanted to make it a little extra difficult. I'll say, obviously, comes to no surprise. I get a very similar vibe and feel around the golf course that you could get at Bethpage or at Wingfoot.
I look at a golf course like this and I think it's quite similar to what we faced at Wingfoot in 2020 in terms of long golf course, long rough, pretty narrow fairways, but there's a lot of openings into the greens. I actually played the golf course today in its entirety, and it's everything that I'd heard about. It's a tough test.
It's a challenge. The fairways are so firm that a lot of the holes are the way they've just got the contouring and stuff that they kind of bounce off the lines and into the rough. So
it's a really good test. It's a big golf course. It's just that beautiful grand clubhouse, and I love what has been done here with the restoration. It looks amazing, like visually. They've really used the land beautifully. The greens have a lot of flow to them, a lot of slope. But not so much where it's impossible to create a good challenge with it being a fair challenge as well.
I love the views. I love seeing the openness of the course. You can feel the wind a lot more. It doesn't maybe swirl quite as much. I mean, we had a lot of wind changes today. The green complexes are relatively flat. They're fast greens. But there's more edges that they can capture, which then brings the bunkers more into play.
I think Oak Hill's always been a great championship golf course, and from my eye, which is obviously very subjective, I think that there's only been improvements to the golf course since the last time a big tournament was played here. So, and what I've heard from most of the other guys that have played. There seems to be some really good reviews of it, so I'm excited to play it in a tournament and see how it holds up. But this golf course historically has held up very well, so I'm expecting no different this week.
It's pretty difficult. There's only two par fives, they're both over 600 yards, and we played yesterday and I hit the fairway on 4. And I had to hit like a 50-yard hook around the trees to get to the green with a 3-wood. And so that was kind of a telltale sign, especially after playing number 3, which is a 3-iron to a green that looks like you can barely keep a 7-iron on it. So it's definitely a really hard course, but there's a few holes where there's some opportunities, and then there's a few holes where you just kind of got to strap in and try and make pars.
Tough course. It's whoever is setting up the golf course can have a lot of fun because there's a lot of opportunities on the holes with tee boxes and pit locations, so you can make this golf course as difficult as you want or not as accessible as you want, but obviously you can make a big difference in the scoring. So I would say whoever did the redo, has done a good job. It's challenging, but it's one of those where if you hit the shot you're supposed to hit, put it in the fairway, go towards the center of the green, nothing crazy should be happening, right?
Some of the par threes, a couple of the par threes are a little bit obnoxiously long for some of the size of the greens. But again, that's a major championship test, and it's certainly the rough is thick, the fairway bunkers, the greenside bunkers are very penal, and they can move tees around to kind of make it very fun, this golf course.
I'll say one last thing. If you've not been here, and I don't know what Justin said about the course, but I think that when a player steps on the property for the first time and they walk around and they see this place, they might literally say that it might be the best course they've ever played. It's hard.